Hey, good morning. It's Ruben Lowing. All right, Saturday afternoon. We had our team training today. Actually, it's pretty good training. And there's something that happened in the training that was very interesting because Bernadette started talking about imagining you and the life you want to live. And I was like, ooh, it's like parallel with the Life on Fire challenge. Isn't that wild? And so she started, delving into that, mostly about how you'd feel if you accomplished, what you want to accomplish, right? Would you have joy? And, and I'm thinking about how would I feel? And, and it's asking me to feel joy is kind of tough because I haven't had a lot of real joy in my life, right? But I've had some significant points in my life of pride, so I could imagine how I felt up in the boxing ring when I won my first fight with the All Navy box team, and I was designated to SEAL on the same day, and all these Navy SEALs got up in the ring and carried me out of their shoulders like in the movies. I can, right now, I feel that, and I can imagine sitting on the basketball court at 680 San Fernando and looking out at that view of the San Diego Bay, and in my yard, right, and feeling the same kind of pride, that same kind of satisfaction. I can imagine that. All right. So I just finished doing I do 2 talks a day. One on faith. I do a Facebook Live on faith and interpreting the scriptures I read every day. And talking today about being intentional. And that was what God was intentional in everything He created. And when you're intentional, doing things with a purpose, intentionally, right, to accomplish a specific goal, right, and what you're doing, there's a part of your brain that when you lock onto a goal, it becomes part of your subconscious. And so even when you go into crisis mode, your amygdala, that part of your brain that regulates the fight or flight response, and usually causes you to, you can't learn anything new. You have to rely on what's in your subconscious to help you out of whatever crisis you're in. And it can be a challenge if you got no tools for that situation in your subconscious database. You can't learn anything new, right? I mean, the only way you can do it is you gotta really relate the new thing to the known thing, and then you might be able to get some progress there with yourself or with others. All right. But the thing is, if you have a goal, a desired outcome strong enough, and it's actually part of your subconscious won't let that go. It'll always hunt for that. It'll always steer you subconsciously to that direction, to accomplish that desire, that desired outcome, that dream. Okay? And when you have people that you're on your team that sign and die They spend their $100, they get a code number, and they don't engage. They don't pick up the phone when you call. They don't tune into the Zoom meetings. That is somebody that doesn't have a desired outcome strong enough, all right, to see what we have, okay, to be willing to do what it takes to make the calls and to build those relationships and to learn the material well enough that you can explain it. I had a girl today. She recruited somebody. I don't know if she recruited, but she did business with somebody who used to be in the business, and they thought they knew way more than she did. And she didn't let him shut them down. And now she explained the IUL, had Bernadette explain the IUL to them, and now they have a policy. Somebody who was in the industry, thought they knew everything, all right, found out something they didn't know, and now they bought it, all right, from this young girl who's just getting in the business, all right, and she just didn't. She had courage. I'm so impressed. It's not even funny, right? But she's consistent, right? And she's learning the approaches, and she's got passion, right? She's disciplined, all right, and it's impressive. It's very impressive. 5 years ago, she joined the company, didn't do nothing, and then she came back now, and she's after it, and so that happens. That happens. But that whole intentional thing is where it's at. Okay. If you live your life intentionally, I don't care where you're at with your finances. If you become intentional with what you're doing to make money, pay attention to where you're spending your money, how you're spending your money, how your money is, where's your money at? What's it doing? The money that you have, is it doing anything? Okay. You think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Why wouldn't you want something better? Does that make sense? Why wouldn't you want to get a better rate of return on your money than you can in the bank? Right? Even if it is your checking account. Right? There are accounts that are doing much better than the bank's doing. It's like inverse to what the banks are doing. I got 31 people I've either done a 7-step presentation for, or gave them the blue book this month. I figured out I got a slow start, and I was like, I got caught up. Had about 10 days left in the month, and I'm like, or 12 days ago, I guess. If you go ahead and you get your 30 right away, then you go back and so if you've just given them the blue book, you get back and follow up. Did you read any of it? Did they see anything that caught your attention? See if you can get a conversation going along those lines, right? Maybe, hey, can I get you on Zoom? Let me show this to you. Maybe it'll be better if I present it to you, right? Then, if you've given the presentation to them, all right, again, well, was there anything that I said that caught your eye? That you might think people take advantage of for you, or maybe somebody right? Do you think what we're doing is a good thing? Do you think that we could help people that what's the answer going to be, right? Could I talk to them? You know, you saw what I do. I'm going to show them the same thing I showed you, right? You know, and worst case scenario, they'll be a little smarter. You know, and then if you've done that, you know, let's. I had somebody. I hardly even got into the presentation. I got into the financial foundation. I talked about the protection, and she's like, "Well, the kind of policy I want, you can borrow against. I'm not old enough." I'm like, "Who told you that?" All right. So I did an illustration. I'm gonna show that to her, and we're gonna take it from there, right? But it was just flipped like that. You know, once she found out that I knew, you know, I had some information that she didn't know. Once she knew it, she had to have it. Isn't that something? I wonder who told her that she wasn't old enough. Told her she wasn't old enough to get a policy like that. All right. I'm appealing to you to tune in, to start getting a schedule for the workshops, and for the 7 steps, and for our team meetings. All right. Have a good one.